All right, guys, welcome back to part number 2 of becoming a master sniper at Memecoins. Okay, so with part 1, we ended off on this Zawinski coin, so I'm still on it, and I'm just gonna finish up on this coin, and I'll show you some more demonstrations. What I did is I showed you how to snipe, how to basically put your fees in and everything, right? How to do a little bit of on-chain analysis through SoulScan, right? So if you need a refresher, the fee is basically what you're paying in gas, right? This is what you're paying to the blockchain. Your priority fee is what you're paying to Jito, right? To have MEV protection. I had a friend that just paid for the normal fee and he didn't pay for MEV protection. And he literally got MEV'd from he tried to buy in at 5K and a MEV'd him all the way up to 50K and he lost 90%. So always use MEV protection, guys, because you're going to get absolutely cooked by these MEVs. And yeah, they're just going to mass extract you. And if you don't know what a MEV is, an MEV bot, right? They are like sandwich bots. So it's a bot that scans the blockchain. Like say you buy with 1 soul, they will buy with 20 soul before you do, right? Up the fee a tiny bit higher than yours and then sell over you and take the tiny profit because you pumped up the price a little bit for them. So you'd get filled after them and they just completely nuke the price. So if you've seen those super fat candles that go super high and come down the same second, that's what a MEV bot is. Shoot, I almost just spilled my drink. Alrighty, so let's see if there's anything else that I need to talk about on SoulScan. So, oh yeah, the signer. So we can look that they did the transaction for Zawinski coin on Pump Fund. We can look at the signer. This is the wallet that they did that on. So they have around, let's see, 5K. And then it looks like it's in, oh no, I'm tripping. Okay, $5. So they've definitely transferred their money to a different wallet. It looks like possibly to this wallet. We could look at here. 88 Soul, buy here. And let's see, transfers 88 to here. Okay, so there's 3K in this wallet. So they've been transferring money around. So super, super cool. You can also look at where the wallet was funded by. So I can break this down in a on-chain analysis video in the future. Right now we're basically doing sniping. So let's look at their other coin, right? We can look at Prees. So if we scroll back out, every single one of these dudes' coins went crazy, right? And then I already have this filtered by oldest. So the dev bought with 3 soul on this one, so a little bit higher. Your goal for sniping is to be the first TX. So let's say you got filled at 4 or 5K. You could have literally made you could have had it. You can even put stop losses on here. You could put stop losses on Padre or on Bloom to make sure if you're not at your computer, your sniper is basically working for you automatically and making you free money, right? So we can look at this. There was some bundles. Let's look at the guy that bought with 8 soul. How much did he pay in priority, right? Because if you could pay it, let's say if you know this guy's going to snipe the next coin, then you could literally pay 1 cent more and you'd probably get filled. So he didn't even use MEV protection. He literally just paid 0.005. So it's most likely because he had a node that was really, really, really close to where the dude was, or just he basically paid for his own node. So if you want to change your node, you tap on here, account security, rewards. I believe actually it should be down here. Connection is stable, Western. Toggle wallet tracker list. So yeah, right here, basically, you can change your own node. And then there is ways to customize your own node. There's a website, you can import your own node and do all that other stuff. So if you're really serious about it, but the ones that are already built in are just fine. Just make sure you have one that's either really close to your location, right? So if you live in Australia, use an Australian node, not a US node. That's because it's your ping, right? This is what's going to route your transaction through. So use the one that's the fastest, which is going to be towards your location, right? With the lowest MS or ping or whatever you want to call it. Now, this guy looks like let's look at the 5K guy, right? These guys all got filled at 4K, 5K, 6K market cap. That's an easy money if you could have got in. So let's look at how much this guy paid that bought in with 5 soul. Let me clear out all these other tabs too. So very, very, very tiny amount, right? So most likely it's because he did pay for MEV protection. Most likely it's because they have a good node. So this is super important. But it's also important to have good fees. Because if you have low fees, you're going to be the last sniper in. Which sometimes isn't bad. But, what I'm thinking these bundles are You see it's marked as bundles. It actually might be the dev. So that's another thing to watch out for, right? You see all these bundles. It's probably the dev sniping himself trying to make a bunch of money off of it too. So you got to be careful, right? Now, another crazy dev is going to be the bonk coin dev. So if we look at, or the, what's it called? Useless coin dev, right? So if we look at all these dev tokens, he buys with a massive amount, right? So this one came out 5 hours ago. It's called US or us. Useless shit, basically. So this coin right here, you could see if you go to trades, he bought with 15 SOL. Like, this is insane work, right? Now, you could have front run these other snipers, or what you could do is you could have it to where, like, you see the coin comes out, you get the notification, it goes from here, and you just wait for the other snipers to full clip, right? 10 SOL, 7 SOL, 8.5, right? The dev's starting to farm it. You could have put your limit order right here, right? You could go buy limit order, boom, right here, buy with 2.5 SOL or whatever. And then boom, it wicks it, and then you get filled, and then it pumps back up, right? Because this guy, every single one of his coins shoots like crazy, right? And you can see it PvP'd, and then let's see, it eventually started running, right? And this is because this is the same dev that launched Useless, which is at 270 million. You could look at Fartcoin dev, right? So this coin's at 1.4 billion. And you could track this guy's coins, right? Let's look at the latest coin, Ganzi Stream or something. It's at 2 mil. So if you're able to snipe these kind of like crazy wallets, and you actually know how to do it, right? Because this might not be your whole go-to strategy, right? But it's something that you have like in the background running like passively, right? So let's say you have like 5 snipers set up, and then out of nowhere, one of them triggers. Then you start cashing out, right? While you're doing your main strategy, which could be scalping, it could be trenching in new pairs. So this is a super essential skill that I think every single trader should have. And not just that, but it's an essential tool that every trader should use. Because, for example, like say if Elon is making a coin in this hypothetical, right? Or Kanye is making another coin, or any of these crazy people, you're going to be scrambling on YouTube. How do I do a sniper? You're going to fumble. You're going to click a drainer scammer link, right? Because when it's in the heat of the situation, you're going to be freaking out. You're going to be desperate. You're going to do anything. You're going to click the drainer links that all these like, you know, random scammers are using. And then you're going to get completely drained. And then you're going to be like, oh, crypto's a scam. So I would highly recommend learning this now so that you already know how to do it once you need it, because that skill is going to be very expensive and pricey, right? When you don't have it and you need to do it, right? Because it can cost you a lot of profits too. So it's a super important thing to make sure you know how to do. And yeah, so that's probably gonna be part 2 of sniping. And yeah, if you guys need a free Discord community, feel free to join the one in the link description. Links to all these platforms in the description as well. And yeah, you save like 20% on fees. You also get 40% rake back. That's like the highest out of any other platform out there. So 40% rake back on your own trades, on your own fees. So you're basically getting paid, right? So even if you do break even on a trade, you're still going to be getting 40% back on fees. So super goated platforms. And yeah, thank you for watching.